The Galapagos are a magical place. Tiny specks of land near the equator, surrounded by the vast eastern Pacific. The isolation of the islands allowed the development of unique animal life that would provide a young Charles Darwin with the data to reshape biology with his theory of evolution. But Darwin could not go underwater. Here is another world to be explored that can tell us not about our past, but our future. The Galapagos have almost no human development, are isolated from pollution, and have limited fishing. The coral here are a perfect laboratory to study the effects of climate change.
We're seeing a shift in the climate right now, and it's really undeniable that this shift is happening.
The best known effect of this change is global warming. We know that it has bleached the life out of corals around the world. But in truth, we are just beginning to understand what happens to coral as the ocean becomes warmer. Brian Beck of the Living Oceans Foundation helps gather basic data needed to forecast the future of corals.
So what I do is when I lay my line out is I record each species of coral that's within a half meter of that line, and I record the size and the health of that coral, how much is alive and dead.
The far-flung islands of the Galapagos provide a spectrum of conditions for study. Hit with currents that range from frigid cold from Antarctica to tropical warm from Central America.
Work has been done here over time, and we can see how these coral communities are changing with respect to world temperatures and the environment.
Some corals are showing they may be able to adapt to climate change. Ileana Baums is studying two types of coral that are similar. Very, very similar.
We can only tell the species apart in the lab. So the samples we take here, I take back to Penn State, and there I employ these DNA markers. They're similar to what you would use for a fatherhood test.
The two corals may be indistinguishable to the eye, but they are not the same by any means.
One of the species deals with climate change differently. So when water temperatures get warm, one of the species bleaches more frequently than the other.
Ileana's research allows us to begin to understand which corals have a better chance of success in an uncertain future.
If water temperatures keep rising with climate change, we might get one species to survive better than the other.
But climate change is not just about global warming. It also involves the huge amounts of carbon we've burned over the last 200 years, since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, which has created carbon dioxide, a lot of it. The ocean has absorbed a third of this carbon dioxide, and Derek Manzello is trying to understand the consequences.
So this is measuring the amount of carbon dioxide that's in seawater.
Increasing levels of carbon dioxide make the ocean more acidic, which weakens calcium carbonate, the main component of seashells. It means bad news for clams, oysters, crabs, and especially coral. Currents rising from the ocean bottom hit the coral of the southern Galapagos with water that's twice as acidic as in the north. Once again, the Galapagos works as a scientific laboratory, providing us with a window into a future of increasing acidification in the oceans.
I think it's very alarming at the trajectory that we're seeing in the world's oceans, because if we look in the real world, we see that coral reefs disappear when you go into more acidic environments.
The Galapagos may be hard to get to, with strong currents and harsh conditions. But its unique environment is crucial to providing us with the knowledge needed to plan better for the ocean of the future.